Here is a detailed English version, starting with an expanded description of the key legends, followed by a full translation and elaboration of the original German symbolic interpretation of the crop circle. The Legends of the Four Chords. 1. The Cherokee Sky Vault and the Four Chords. In the oldest Cherokee tellings, the Earth is not a solid ball spinning through space. It is a great floating island resting on the surface of a vast, dark sea. High above it arches a sky made of solid rock, the Sky Vault. From the four cardinal points of this stone ceiling hang four cords. They are not ordinary ropes. They glow with a quiet, living light, strong enough to hold an entire world, yet fine enough to shimmer like spider silk in the wind. These four cords descend through the clouds and fasten themselves to the four corners of the island. As long as they remain whole, the earth stays suspended between the endless water below and the rock sky above. But the Cherokee always remembered the warning. When the world grows old and worn, the cords will fray and finally break. Then the island will slip free and sink, and the waters will cover everything again. The animals that once lived crowded in the upper world still carry this memory. Even the little water beetle that dove into the abyss and brought up the first handful of soft mud still dreams of those four shining lines that keep the land from vanishing. 2. The measuring cords of the Quiche Maya. In the beginning, before the first light, the creator gods of the Quiche people took up the measuring cords. In the darkness, they stretched them across the void, doubling them, staking them, pulling them taut, until sky and earth were ordered into four corners and four sides. At each corner they placed a Bakab, a giant sky-bearer, sons of the great Itzamna. One stood in the east, the color of blood and sunrise, one in the north, the white of bone, one in the west, the black of night, one in the south, the yellow of ripe maize. Between these four living pillars, the sacred ceiba tree rose at the exact center of the world. Its roots drank from the underworld. Its canopy touched the 13 heavens. The measuring cords themselves remained as the invisible architecture of the cosmos, the same cords a farmer still uses when he lays out a maize field. In the Maya vision, creation was not a single explosion of light, but a careful, sacred surveying. The world measured, staked, and bound so that it would hold. 3. The witch's knot, the fourfold binding. In the Celtic and later European folk traditions, a different but related form appears, the witch's knot, also called the quaternary knot or magic knot. It is drawn as a single unbroken line that forms four interlocking loops meeting in a common center, often enclosed by a circle. Each loop is a doorway for one of the elemental powers, earth, air, fire, water, or for the four directions, the four seasons, or the four stations of a human life. Because the line has no beginning and no end, the knot cannot be untied by ordinary means. Its hollow center becomes a container, a place that holds intention, protection, or the quiet certainty that all opposing forces are already bound together. The witch's knot is both shield and reminder. It says that the four powers of the world do not stand separate. They lean inward and rest in one shared heart. These three stories, the Cherokee cords that hold the floating island, the Maya measuring cords that ordered the four corners, and the witch's knot that binds the four elements, all speak of the same deep pattern. Four forces, four directions, four cords, meeting in a common center that keeps the world from dissolving. Symbolic interpretation of the crop circle. The crop circle presents a strongly geometric, fourfold symmetrical form inside a large enclosing circle. At its center stands a clear cross or plus sign, from which four interlocking right-angled pathways or corridors radiate into the four quadrants. These pathways look like woven labyrinthine ropes or cords that fold, reverse, and finally all converge upon the shared middle point. The structure can be read as a visual translation of the myths we have just recalled. It echoes the four chords of the Cherokee story that hold the earth at the four cardinal points from the rock sky. Here, the four ropes are no longer only outer suspensions. They have become inner, interwoven pathways that both stabilize and pass through the center, the earth, the human being, the axis mundi. It recalls the measuring cords of the Maya, with which the cosmos was divided into four corners and four sides and stretched out. The right-angled, meandering lines resemble the act of surveying and ordering space, an active shaping of chaos into a centered whole. It mirrors the witch's knot. the Celtic four-cornered knot in which four loops join in a common center and hold the four elements, directions, and seasons in an inseparable bond. On a deeper level, the pattern functions like a labyrinthine crossroads. Each of the four arms is its own path with turns and detours, yet every path leads inevitably to the center. This can be understood as an image of the human journey, the four directions of life: birth, growth, maturity, death, or the four temperaments, the four elements, the four ages of a person, that only meet and become whole in the shared core. The large outer circle frames everything and acts as the sky or the protective hole that encloses the four chords. The center itself remains relatively clear and quiet, a still point where movement comes to rest. It recalls the ancient idea of the unmoved mover, or the sacred niddle from which the world is held and to which everything returns. In the language of crop circle interpretation, one might say, here an old legend is not merely quoted, it is renewed. The four chords are no longer only external holden ropes of a mythical earth. They have become living inner pathways that run through us. The pattern invites us to bring our own dividedness, the four directions, the four inner voices, consciously into a common center, and there to feel again the holding power that carries the world and ourselves. It is a quiet geometric reminder that everything which seems separate is already connected, and that the center does not lie somewhere outside us, but exactly where the four chords meet.